Hello everyone, what's up and welcome back to my channel. My name is Meg and today I'm going to be taking you through an intro to Pilates, a very basic beginner-based class for someone maybe if you're older and you're just getting started into the work and you need a little bit of pre-strengthening to do, or maybe you are coming back from an injury or just need a really basic Pilates 101 kind of class. This is for you. So all you need today is a towel. Something like this will do, kind of like a kitchen towel, and then fold it or roll it long ways. And you can also use a yoga strap or maybe a TheraBand if you have one. Anything that you can use to add a little pull and isometric hold for some of the moves that we're doing will work great. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Meet me on your mat, and here we go. All right, so the very first move that we're going to be doing is bridging. So make sure that your heels are in line with your sits bones and your knees are bent and your tailbone is heavy into the mat. You're not overarching in your low back like this, and you're not over pressing your back into the mat so that your butt is lifting. You want a nice and lengthened neutral spine. And this is a term that we'll be using a lot in your Pilates practice. So if you don't understand it right now, that's okay. You'll eventually get into it and understand it as you get more into the Pilates work. All right, so in this exercise, I want you to press both feet firmly into the mat, and then you're gonna lift your hips up to make a nice straight line from your knee to your shoulders. And then when you come down in Pilates, we like to articulate one vertebrae at a time. So try to get that upper back down, then middle of the back, then low back, and then finally release the tailbone at the bottom. And then we're gonna reverse that. So tuck the tail, go up from your low back, your mid back, and then go all the way up to your upper back, straight line from your knee to your shoulders. And again, rolling down one vertebrae at a time. Keep going like that, trying to maintain that articulation in your spine as you go up and down. We're gonna do a few more of these here. And I also want you to be cognizant about where your shoulders are. Maybe if you have a rounded back and you have a little bit of hunched shoulders, your shoulders might be lifted off the mat like this, but do your best to pull the shoulders down and open the sternum up towards the ceiling, and keep going for, let's do about 3 more. Tuck the tail, articulate up. And what this articulation is doing is really just creating a supple spine and getting really nice and juicy in those vertebrae for flexion and in the future extension for a healthy and happy spine. Okay, and let's go ahead and do one more bridge. Your glutes and your hamstrings should be a little bit warmer now. And lower down one vertebrae at a time. Very nice. Now from here, we're gonna go into our first Pilates pose, which is tabletop. So lift your legs to a 90-degree angle like this. Now, if your back is arching and it kind of hurts to stay in this position, feel free to put your hands underneath your butt, your tailbone like this, and then it should create a little bit of a dome and help relieve any pressure that's in your low back. Now, from here, you're gonna keep your head down for now. We're lowering down and tapping one foot down into the mat first, and then bring it right back up to that tabletop position. We'll alternate to the other toe or other heel, depending on if you're pointing or flexing your foot, and come back to center. Now, like I mentioned, if you're arching your back as you do this exercise, that's actually gonna further create more pressure and maybe a little bit of pain in your low back. So do your best to really press that spine down, or put your hands under your tailbone. Now, because you guys are still beginner Pilates movers, and maybe you need this to strengthen your core a little bit, in advanced Pilates, we do typically focus on neutral spine, but you may have a little tuck in your pelvis for now and a little lift in your hips so that you don't have any pain in your back. Good. Let's do one more with the one leg down and up. All right, now from here, we're gonna do the same movement, but glue the legs together. So both legs are moving at the same time. You're inhaling to bring the toes down as far down as you can without arching your back. And then exhale, bring it back up to that 90-degree angle. Again, inhale, lower. Good, and exhale, lift. Nice. Now, if your hands are not underneath your tailbone, or honestly, if they are, I also want you to keep your shoulders down. Good, let's do 3 more here. 3. And 2 more, 2. That's it, and 1 more. And up, good. This time, go ahead and lower both feet all the way down onto the mat, but your knees are still bent. And then you're gonna rock your knees all the way to the left, so you get a nice little release in your low back. Maybe you take your gaze over to the opposite side. And then come through the center. Let's rock it over to the other side. Knees face the other direction, head faces the opposite. Good, and then let's do 1 more each side. So knees to the other direction 1 more time. And again, to the other side. All right, from here, you're gonna bring your knees back to the center. And then again, like I mentioned earlier, I want you to imagine your spine is imprinting into the sand of the beach. So your whole vertebrae is kind of pressed into your mat. Then I want you to grab your towel that you have long ways, and I'm going to introduce you to the Pilates curl. So you're going to reach those arms up towards the ceiling, pull the towel apart so that your shoulders kind of pull down, and then I want you to activate your back even before we start. Then when you exhale and lift your head up, you curl forward, pull the towel down towards the front of your thighs, and then if they touch on your thighs, that's great. This is kind of where your Pilates curl should be. And then inhale, arms go back up to the ceiling. Now again, this is a beginner class, so no worries if you're feeling a little bit of a strain in your neck. As you get stronger, that will slowly go away. Exhale, lift up, curl, squeeze that core, and back. Good, let's do 3 more like that. Reach, and back. Nice, let's do 2 more. Reach forward, and back, and 1 more. Very nice, good. See if you have enough room to reach your arms all the way up overhead. I'm gonna narrow my arms a little bit. Good, then take a big stretch here, almost like you're getting out of bed. Nice, all right, then you're just leaving that towel up above your head. Now reach those arms all the way up towards the ceiling again. We're gonna revisit that Pilates curl. So go ahead and curl up. Hover your hands off the mat. You're gonna stay. Then you're gonna do little pulses with the arms here. Now notice that my elbows stay very straight and my whole arm is moving, not just my hands and wrists. Okay, so stay up, pump the whole arm, fire up those abs. Good, let's go. 5 and 4, good, 3 and 2, that's it, and 1. Good, and hands and head down. Good, rock your head side to side. Release the tension that might have built up in your neck. Good. Now from here, hug your knees into your chest. Then you're going to rock it up to a seat, or you can push up and come up onto your seat. Then grab that towel again. We're gonna do a half rollback series. So whether you're advanced or beginner, everyone does half rollback to some degree. So you'll see this very often. Let's grab your towel, reach your arms forward, and the knees stay together here. Then you're gonna roll down to the point right before you feel like your feet wanna pop off the floor, and then come right back up. Now, Pilates is a full body kind of connective exercise, focusing on breathing and centering. So I want you to focus on your center, your core, because this is a core exercise. But really pull that towel apart if you can to activate your shoulders and a little bit of your back muscles. And then at the top, I want you to think growing really, really tall, and then round that spine for a nice, juicy, rounded back, and come back up. Good. Pull the towel nice and tight at the top, and gently roll down. Nice, and up. Good, let's do 3 more here. Pull the towel apart, roll down, and up. Get 2 more, 2, and up. 1 more, and up. Very nice, good. Let's go ahead and reach over your legs for a second. Just relax. And then we're gonna do another variation here. So you can watch me the first time, but you're gonna roll down, stay down, and then you're reaching your arms and doing those Pilates arm pumps that we did earlier on the floor. So when you're ready, pull that towel apart, create tension, shoulders are down, you're rolling down halfway, then you're hovering and pumping those arms 3-4 inches above your knees. At the same time, you're pulling your ribs in, your belly button is to your spine. Good, and squeeze those abs. If your hip flexors are screaming at you and they're mad, come up a little bit higher so you can use your abs. And if you can handle it, go a little bit lower, and your abs should start to shake like mine. Whew. Good. Keep going, let's go. 10, got it, 9 and 8, feel the burn. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Good, and come all the way up. Maybe straighten your legs in front of you and just take a stretch forward here. Good. Now an option you can take here is to actually hook your towel around your feet. You may need to bend your knees a little bit to do that first, and then try to straighten as much as you can here. And then you're gonna pull on the towel and then pull yourself down for a nice juicy stretch for your hamstrings and a little bit in your spine. It might be a lot actually, depending on how tight your back is. Very good. Stay here for 3 more breaths. Two more. And 1 more. Good. All right. Come on up, take the towel off. You're gonna put it off to the side. We're gonna get a little bit more into your glutes, okay? So let's go back down onto your back and go back to the very, very first exercise that we did. Now from here, hands are really pressing down into the mat. So actually, if you press even your elbows down and the forearms and the palms of your hands, your shoulders naturally open up. So go ahead and try that. And you'll notice that your triceps will also turn on, which is great because you're toning your arms while you're strengthening your glutes. So let's go into that high bridge.
Now from here, we're gonna lower halfway down, so not the full height that we did or full lower and lift that we did the very first time, but just half, and then squeeze the hips back up. Half and squeeze it up, and half and squeeze. Good. And even in this exercise, really pull the belly button to your spine, almost like, I don't know if men out there are taking this class, but imagine you have a very, very tight corset on, or there are two walls, just pulling the front side of your core in and the back into the front, towards the front. Good, and you're really squished between two walls. Good, keep it up here. Your glutes should be getting a little bit warmer. If your hamstrings start to cramp, please take a break. And then when you're ready to come back, you can come back. We're gonna do 4 more. 4. Good, and 3. That's it, and 2. Very nice, and 1. Good, all right, and then come all the way down. Ooh, good. Okay, this last one is for your external glutes. It's a little bit tricky, but you're gonna put the soles of the feet together and then flop your knees open to the side. Now this in itself is a very nice stretch. So if after class you would like to do this, hang out here for a little bit and open up your hips, I'm sure that will loosen up your low back a lot if you have back pain. Now, in this butterfly position, it's funky with the feet because the soles of the feet are together. You're pressing into the outsides of your feet into the floor while you're keeping your knees outwards. You're lifting your hips up and then use your arms to help you. So that is going to target those outer external glutes, and then pop the hips back down or gently lower it down. Don't plop it down. And lift. And gently lower. Good, keep going. Now, depending on how tight your hips are, you might feel a pretty intense stretch at the front side of your hip flexors. And that's not necessarily a bad thing unless it is like unbearable pain. Sometimes being uncomfortable is a sign of growth. So listen to your body. Good. And let's do 4 more here. Lift the hips, knees are open. 4. And 3. Good. 2. And 1 more. 1. Good. And then fold the knees in towards each other. Good. And then walk your feet towards the outside of your mat, and then you're just rocking your knees in, and other side, kind of windshield wipering your shins right and left. Good, keep going. It should feel good in your inner like hip, maybe even your outer hip. Good, and then 1 more core exercise here on your back, and then we'll come on to tabletop for a nice little cool down and stretch for your spine. So bring those feet back up to that tabletop position. Now for this one, for this particular class, instead of neutral spine, I want you to press that back down a lot, so you will feel the abs engage. At the same time though, try to pull the ribs in and then belly button down. Now in this tabletop position, you're reaching your arms up towards the ceiling. This I call dead bug. So the coordination is, let's everyone reach the right arm back and then extend the left leg forward, okay? Now, coordinate so that the arms and legs come right back to where they came from together. Good. And then we're gonna switch to the other side. So left arm back, right leg forward, and then squeeze everything to center. All right, I know it's a lot to think about. Right arm, left leg, and exhale, squeeze back to center. And a left arm, right leg, and squeeze it back to center. Now it's okay if your back kind of releases on your way out. I prefer not to, but when you come back and really squeeze and press that back down into the mat, you're gonna feel a little bit of a shake in your core. That's exactly what I want. So that's your transverse abdominis working to get stronger, to protect your back, to get you to get more advanced in your Pilates work or any workout, really. Helps with your squats, helps with your deadlifts, whatever. Spin. Good, keep going, squeeze to center. And let's do one more to this side and squeeze. Good, I lied, let's do one last exercise here. You're gonna put the palms of your hands into the front of your knees, and then you can flex your feet and bend your knees a little bit more if that's more comfortable to you. Now what you're doing here is actively pressing your hands into your knees and your knees into your hands, and that is gonna clip your ribs, your core in place in the front. So you're pressing your hands into the knees, knees into the hands, and hold for 10. Squeeze, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. And then you can release for a second. Maybe rock your knees side to side. We're going to do that 2 more times. So lift those legs back up again. Here we go. Press it in. Clip those ribs in like a little Tupperware holding your leftovers. You're going to squeeze for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Good. And very last time, let's lift back up to tabletop, hands in front of the knees, knees into the hands. Here we go. Press inwards for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gorgeous. And come down. Ooh, hug those knees nice and tight if you can, and then let's do a gentle rock side to side. Good. And then from here, we're gonna flip on over onto our hands and knees. So come on up. And then we're going to be on our hands and our knees here. We'll start with a little cat and cow stretch for a nice juicy spine little movement. So you're gonna round that spine, look into your inner thighs or your belly button. And then you're gonna do the complete opposite. Arch your back, look up at the ceiling. Good, and round that spine. And open. Oh, my back cracked. Maybe yours will too. And open. Nice, 2 more. And open. All right, then this one, you're gonna find a neutral spine, neutral flat spine. Then, similar to what we just did, we're gonna do a little side bending. So you wanna think your tailbone and your head are, connected, which they are. You're gonna make a C. So let's send our hips and our head to the right to make a regular C shape. And then we're going to counter that, going to the other direction. Send your hips and your head to the left to make a backward C. And let's go back and forth like that. Side to side. And side to side. One more, side to side. And side to side. Good, then you're gonna shift your hips back and then reach your arms forward for a final child's pose. And relax your forehead to the mat. Really reach those fingertips forward and melt into the floor. Take long, deep breaths here. Good. 2 more long breaths. Really lengthen that spine. Maybe inch your fingertips outwards a little bit more. Good, then what we're gonna do is thread the needle for your upper shoulders. So let's thread the left arm underneath the right. Good, and now let's go to the other direction. So now I'm threading my right arm underneath the left. Making sure you're breathing into your muscles because they need oxygen as well. Good, and then let's come back to center. Come onto your knees. Fix your hair a little bit. Good, and then final side bending stretch. Let's grab those towels one more time. And you're gonna pull the towel apart a little bit. And feel free, if this isn't comfortable for you, to cross-sit legged, whatever you want. Arms are up towards the ceiling. You're gonna pull the towel apart a lot. Grow 2 inches out of the top of your head. Then you're gonna lean over to one side. And you should feel a nice stretch in your side body. Again, if this sitting position is uncomfortable for you, you can always do this sitting on a chair or on your knees. Good, and let's come through center. We'll go up and over to the other side. Reach. Good, and come up. One more time each side. And up, good, and other side. Oh, that feels so good. And up, good. Bring the towel down. Let's roll out your shoulders a little bit, maybe back, and then maybe a little bit forward. Good, shake your head side to side or rock your head side to side. Good, and one final inhale and exhale. And you guys are all done. I hope you guys feel great after this first session. Comment below if you would like more of these beginner videos. I will be more than happy to make that for you guys. I post videos every week for every level, classical, more sculpt style Pilates, maybe even some HIIT cardio Pilates. So subscribe for that, and I hope you guys come back, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye.